Belarusian strongman Alexander Lukashenko tries to turn the tables in combative interview challenged on human rights abuses, including attacks on protesters, a bomb threat that forced a plane to land allowing Belarusian authorities to arrest dissidents on board, and what the European Union calls the weaponization of migrants. Lukashenko tried to deflect anything negative. "This is madness," he said of Polish government claims that Belarus was dumping migrants on their border. "Are you taking me for a madman?" he said when asked if his country was transporting migrants to the edge of the European Union as revenge for EU sanctions and the EU sheltering dissidents. But the tension between Belarus and the EU is real. So is the fact that most airlines are no longer overflying Belarusian territory. That action was triggered and a vocal critic of Lukashenko's regime was taken into custody in May from a Ryanair plane heading from Athens, Greece, to Vilnius, Lithuania. A Belarusian fighter jet intercepted the passenger plane in Belarus airspace as it was told to make an emergency landing in Minsk by local air traffic controllers who said they feared there was a bomb on board. Once on the ground, Belarusian authorities arrested exiled dissident journalist Roman Protasevich alongside his Russian girlfriend, before allowing the aircraft to depart.
A Belarusian official claimed the Palestinian militant group Hamas had sent an email saying there was a bomb aboard the flight. A Hamas spokesman denied the allegation as fake news. Protasevich's supporters said it was a fantastical ruse to get the plane on the ground in Minsk. "If you choose not to fly, that's fine, okay, fly over the North Pole or the South Pole, that is your right, I cannot force you. I'm not as powerful as Great Britain, let alone the United States, to dictate any terms. If you don't fly, others will, as you've just said. That's fine, we'll get by." Lukashenko, a temperamental former collective farm boss, has been president of Belarus since 1994, its first and only leader since the fall of the Soviet Union. Called Europe's last dictator, his iron grip on his country has become increasingly forceful, especially since last year's vote. His public appearances are tightly controlled and he is generally surrounded by fawning countrymen. Confronted with details of some of the victims of the harsh, even deadly, treatment of those against him, he said he had nothing to apologize for. "I don't think this is even a relevant question, and in principle, I have nothing to apologize for," he said. Lukashenko responded, "You know, we don't have a single detention center, as you say, like Guantanamo, or those bases that the United States and your country created in Eastern Europe. As regards our own detention centers, where we keep those accused or those under investigation, they are no worse than in Britain or the United States. I can guarantee you that." He first seemed reluctant to even say the name of opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, who left Belarus after the election that was widely seen as fraudulent. Then he said Tikhanovskaya had not had to flee. "I swear by my children that Tikhanovskaya was not fleeing anywhere," he said. Tikhanovskaya is regarded by Europe and the United States as having had the election stolen from her. She was granted a White House meeting in July with President Joe Biden, who tweeted he had been honored to meet her, adding the U.S. stands with the people of Belarus in their quest for democracy and universal human rights. Lukashenko paints a rosy picture of life in Belarus, saying families are safe to go out. One young man who did talk gave a blunt assessment of why people were scared. "This is Belarus," he said. "The police can arrest you and me." Back in Independence Palace, Lukashenko said his people understood him. That he was joking when he said coronavirus could be warded off with a shot of vodka and a sauna.
He cultivates an image as a man of the people, a strong leader and a maverick on the world stage. But still, he watches what he says. "I am not going to admit to anything in front of you. I am not under investigation. So please choose your words carefully," he said in one answer. He veered between not being a weakling who would care about having revenge against the EU for sanctions, to threatening reprisals should relations with the West deteriorate further.
The closer economic, political, and military integration has fueled speculation that Lukashenko will be the last as well as the first Belarusian president, effectively merging his country with Russia. In one breath, he denies this. Putin and I are intelligent enough to create a union of two independent states that would be stronger together than separate. Sovereignty is not for sale, he said. In the next breath, he suggests what could happen if there's provocation. If we need to, Belarus will turn into one military base for Russia in Belarus in order to withstand your aggression, if you decide, or if any one country decides to attack. And you should be clear on this, I have never made any secret of it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.